Hi, my name's Stuart. Welcome to my first ever vlog, whatever you want to call it. I'm actually on my way up to the Isle of Skye from Southampton, so I've got a bit of a drive ahead of me. I'm actually supposed to be in Iceland at the moment, but because of what's going on, the whole COVID situation, the rules changed in mid-August, and when you turn up now, you've got to self-isolate for 5 days in your hotel, which kind of put the kibosh on that. So I thought, I've got a week off, I might as well go somewhere, do something. So Isle of Skye's been on my list for a while, things to go, places to go and whatnot. Pretty spectacular, hard underfoot. Oh, wishing I hadn't worn my hat now, boiling. There's apparently an S-bend down here. I'm not sure the set sun's going to be in the right position, but I've just driven up from Southampton, I'm knackered. I need to get out of the car and do a bit of walking. It looks fantastic up there. Absolutely stunning.
I was in two minds about this image. It feels kind of unbalanced on the bottom right hand side. When I was composing it, I had to cut off the right. There was a tree just above the rock which was getting in the way. The only reason I've included it really is I love the light at the top, which I've purposely overexposed just to accentuate the blooms of light coming over the top of the mountain from the sun.
Right, I found this composition here. Just walking up the road. There's a lovely shafts of light coming down. I've got the 70 to 200 on. Zooming right in, trying to cut out the road on the right is a bit distracting. There's a nice footpath that leads through with the beams of light illuminating it on the way. Pretty simple. Settings F11, and I'm bracketing to try and get exposure. The sun's just starting to peep over. Looks pretty good. On the viewfinder, see what it looks like on the computer. 2 thumbs fresh for this view, I think.
I really enjoy this image. For me, it really encapsulates what the whole day was like, with the sun's rays creeping over the top of the mountain.
Welcome to Glencoe. It is about 2 minutes before sunrise. Hoping all these mountains are going to get lit up. There's no clouds or anything, so I'm not going to get too much atmosphere. So once they're lit up, I'll probably shoot off. It's took me a long time to get up here. Came from Southampton, so we're talking a good 9 hours driving, which was good fun. It's fantastic to be here. It's absolutely stunning scenery, and the whole place is steeped in history. I mean, down the road there you've got where the famous Glencoe massacre happened in the 17th century. I think it was about 38 people were massacred by the Argyll regiment. And then if you look further down there, I think it was 1562, around about there, when a Russian beheaded an Egyptian. Cold. Just waiting for the light now. Come on. Sun's up. Hopefully it will kiss the top of the peaks, work its way down and warm me up because I'm freezing. Wasn't too bad in the car last night, 2 sleeping bags. That's alright. Just had an eagle flying around. You could hear it before you could see it. Fantastic thing. This is better than sitting at a desk any day.
So this image is a pretty huge panorama. It's about a 9 vertically orientated shot, stitch shot put together.
Well, I made it down. Hour to get up, quarter of an hour to get down. I was all the way up the top there. So, oh, we got a jet. Back to the car, see if I can find the Harry Potter train.
Here we have the Jacobite steam train that runs twice a day from Fort William to Malag, also known as the Hogwarts Express. I'm not sure if it is the actual train from the film, but this is the viaduct that appears in there. You have to pay £10 if you want to fly your drone here and have a chat with the guy. I flew it after the train had passed, as there were about 120 people around, and getting a drone out and hovering above them and getting in their photos was going to piss someone off, so I thought it was best to wait till they'd all disappeared. It's a fantastic train, and the viaducts are an impressive bit of engineering. Here's a seascape from Talisker Bay. I find the secret with these wave trail type photos is getting the timing right. You have to wait for the waves to go out, and you typically want an exposure time between half a second and a second to really accentuate those white frothy bits around the rocks. here we have the Old Manor Store. I guess it's one of the iconic shots from Skye. Unfortunately, I didn't really get any decent light. There was a bit of a sunrise off to the very sort of northwest, but I was hoping for some directional light onto the rocks themselves. It didn't really happen. Similar thing happened a couple of days later at the Quirang. It is what it is, though. You've just got to take what's given to you. I did get a little bit of cloud around the pinnacles, but it wasn't what I was hoping for. You get a decent bit of directional light, you get some nice shadows. It looks kind of flat, but it is what it is. It's an absolutely stunning place to visit. Neast Point's a bit of a drive. It's sort of in the northwest of Skye. There is another competition you can get further up the cliffs, but I kind of like the way that the cliff here punctures the horizon. It's a stunning place to watch the sun go down.
Right, just driving down the road, came across this competition here. Nice leading line of the stream leading up to the mountain here, just waiting for the light to do something. We've got some clouds on the mountains up there, you probably can't see them at the moment. Hopefully they go over the top, maybe get some speckled light. It's a bit of a walk to get here, a massive trek from the car. Yeah, walked a long way, it's hard work. So if you can see up there, got all that cloud, hoping to get something over this peak here. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. I'll probably give it 10 minutes, 15 minutes, something like that. Getting a bit bored and a bit hungry. I'll probably blend two shots in here, one for the foreground and one for the distance. I've got a polarizer on just to bring out some of the stones and things that are in the water. Don't know if it'll make much difference. It's cutting a little bit of glare off. And yeah, hopefully just get a bit of dramatic lighting up on the top there. Settings wise, it's about f11, ISO 100. For the water, half a second, something like that. Yeah, hopefully it's a good picture. It looks alright through the viewfinder. Whether or not it looks alright on a bigger screen over time. This is where I put a montage of me walking in, going back to the club, but doesn't seem much point for 25 metres.
The view from Elgol across the bay to the Black Coolins is for me up there with the Quirang and the Old Manor Store as one of the top sites in Skye, definitely to view. There's so much there to photograph. This is the classic egg shot that Joe Cornish made famous. I like the stormy weather. It adds to the feel of the image. This was the second time that I went there whilst I was up there. The first time the tide was way too low, but the second time it was coming in. I had to wait around for a couple of hours, but the weather seemed to play ball with me. Eileen Donan Castle was one of the highlights for me. It's somewhere that I've wanted to visit since I was a teenager after seeing it in Highlander. The shot I took was with the drone. I had to clone out some of the rocks in the foreground just because they kind of distracted away from the causeway. It's pretty nice that you can get on there for free. If it was England, you'd have to pay, but because it's Scotland, it's free and you can just wander around after hours, and they kindly leave the lights on, which is a bonus. The fairy pool's a real highlight for me. The whole place reeks atmosphere. There are so many waterfalls to photograph, and the backdrop of the black coolings behind look like something out of Lord of the Rings. It kind of looks like Mount Doom sat in the background there. The only downside is there were a lot of people walking around, and the paths were incredibly muddy, which is luckily where my welly boots came in handy. So the Quirang was a bit of a disappointment. The weather really didn't play ball. It was completely flat light whilst I was there, no definition in the clouds, nothing. So whilst it was a very impressive sight, the light, which for me makes a photo, just didn't happen. Driving back though, I did spot a lock just down past the old manor store. So after jumping a fence and almost castrating myself, I managed to get right down to the side of the lock, and using the 16 to 35 mm lens, I managed to get this photo. So that's the end of this short video. It's the Isle of Skye is a fantastic place to visit, no matter what the weather. It's somewhere I'd love to go back to. There's still some places that I want to go to there, and I'd love to see it in the winter. The one thing from this trip that I've taken away is just how much work goes into creating these kind of vlogs, which is why you saw less footage of me towards the end, as I got tired and bored and kind of gave up. But yeah, it is what it is. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.